I'm going to take that, and because this area is very blank, isn't it? Remember that stroke? You push down and pull up, push down and pull up, and down the middle. There's a nice leaf. Push down and pull up, push down, and there's another leaf. A little stem. Now watch it happen. Push down and pull up, push down and pull up. Okay, if it doesn't come out right, just do it again. And we have another leaf in here. And what I'm using gray, and if your gray is too light, you can always mix a little black with it to darken it up a little bit. Now you see how I'm adding, how it's just sort of drifting off into nothing. Looks like a blank area up here. Let's take and put another one up in here. I'll just fill it in there. But notice they're all going in different directions. Don't have them all. I see folks in my workshops, they'll put leaves in, and they'll put one here, and they have a little halo going around the whole painting. So don't do that. Up in here we had, I'll mush this in again. Let's go a little darker, let's pull back a little bit so we can see this area. We're going to take some green and sienna. Now watch how I mush color and come down the middle. Now this is a different stroke. I angle towards the back, and that gives me a sort of a different type of leaf, one that has a little more strokiness going on, where these are just kind of one stroke this way, one stroke that way. This we wiggle color down the middle and angle towards the back. Did the same thing there. Here this is less descriptive. There's not as much detail in it. Oh, I see a little sienna. Maybe a little touch of cad red light. Ooh. I see another leaf in here. Now the cad red light adds a little more red to it. Because if you ever go out there and look at your roses, you'll find that a lot of the leaves will turn this reddish color. Okay, let's come on over to the other side and let's take a look at that landscape and what's happening over here. Now, as I mentioned before, we have to put some grass in this area. So I'm going to take the gray and come in. Whoa, now you see that? That's too light. See how light that is? I'm going to add a little more black to that because we don't want it, we want to set it down. And there, that's better. And we're going to indicate, woo, now that's too dark. So you have to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I'm just hitting it on the downstroke. And kind of creep into the landscape just a little. Now comes out into the gray. Let's try to lighten it up just a little bit more. There it goes. There it goes. Lighten it up. Let it disappear into the background. You can even take your finger, see here? And the finger works great. Finger used to be that long. I wore it down doing all this blending over the years. Oh, I know, you have to put up with my stupid jokes. Here's a little orange and yellow. Orange and yellow. Indicating a little more grassy. And even use your finger in here to blend it in. Not too much of that orange and yellow will get too bright. Now, we got that going up in here. We're going to take, remember our fan brush, our good old bristle fan brush, and we're going to take that and pick up some white and very dry. I'm going to hit. Boy, look at that pop off. Hit right back in here. I'm just hitting it or patting it right in through this area to give it a feeling of lots of little flowers, little things growing in the back. Maybe we'll pick up a little yellow and a touch of orange and pat that in here to give it a little more feeling of flowers way in the back. Now the flowers way in the back, you can't see the individual flowers because they kind of mush into nothing. Here I'm going to mush it in. In a little while, we'll show a little more detail in there. But that looks pretty good just as a start for right now. I wanted to come over here on the left-hand side and get into these leaves. I think I was looking at the tape and I noticed my hand was in the way quite a bit. So I want to show you this stroke because it's so important. So I'm going to go over it again to show you how this works. You push down, come down, and as you come down you pull it up to the edge so it chisels right here. Then the other side you'll push down and come up and meet that same point again. So you see how that works? Let's see. I'm going to get in there real close and put on another one in for you. And I'm using just gray and this about the 3/4 inch brush. Let's put another one in here. Now watch how we push down and pull up, push down and pull up. Can you see that happening? And what you need to do is practice these strokes on palette paper or on just a blank canvas. Though blank canvases can get a little expensive, but that's what you want to do. Let's do one more. Push down and pull up, push down and pull up. And there you are. So it's as easy as that. And that's what I did on all of these up in here except for this one up on the top where I just angled the strokes in. But everything else is done the same way. Yeah. Okay, now let's go in and let's put some buds right in this area. I think there's about, let's see, there's 1, 2, 3 buds that haven't opened and a little red one down below that's just ready to open. So I'm going to come down and just pick up a little green. This is sap green and a little yellow. And right in this area, right in here, we're going to push down and pull up to the tip. So that's the greenery that comes down the middle. And reach a little more yellow and green. And way out there, and turn the brush to the tip. And we'll get the top part in. And come out. We want the buds to look like they're fat. So that there's a looks like there's a bud inside of that. I use the same color on both, just a little green and a little sienna. There's another one in here. Push down and come up to the tip. That's the center, green and yellow. And you notice how sometimes I'll roll the brush to get that little tip coming out. So there's 3 of them. There's another one down here. Come on out. Now, some of them you can just barely see. They're just barely there. That one might be disappearing too much. Bring it out a little more. Then we have one down here that is crimson. It's a little red bud right in through here. You curve that brush around. I'm not using any medium because the dry paint sticks to the wet paint underneath. That's crimson. Little cad red light. Pop that out. It's working very dry. And just sort of pat blend it in there. And on this one, maybe just reach down for a little touch of white. It's just a little bit of pink. A little more yellow and green. There's a little center in there. And the green is sap green. And out comes the top and the bottom. Notice how I sort of push down and I mush that brush out and then I come up and twist towards the tip. A little more yellow. Take your time. You know, the little stuff is just as important as the big stuff. Maybe we'll take a little blue and a little touch of white. Just a touch of blue. Maybe we'll have just a little hint of blue there and there. Just a hint, you hardly even know it's in there. Now we don't want to make a big deal of these buds and have them become more important than the roses. So just put them in and when they look good, just get back out of the painting.